welcome back to Nerd Impacts Incoming Weekly. This is our third week of bringing all the nerdy news to you, and the first week that our buddy Disson here is joining us. Say hi, Disson.
Hi, Destin.
So there wasn't, when we first started getting this together, it didn't look like there was a whole lot of news out there for the week. At least nothing that interests us too much, but we do have a few topics, and something pretty interesting did pop up. But to start, because our first video on Nerd Impact had to do with the Transformers trilogy on Netflix, we had a trailer drop for the second part of the trilogy titled Earthrise.
Nice.
Disson, did you get a chance to look at this trailer?
I actually did not get a chance to look at the trailer, but you can talk about it.
So it really, I saw it more as a teaser trailer. There wasn't a whole lot there except that it looks like, at least in the beginning of the season, it looks like Megatron is under the belief that Optimus Prime died in the finale of last season. The name does imply to us that at some point they'll be on Earth, but to me, I don't know that I saw any images I could say for sure is on Earth, but we do see, we got a tease of this other faction called the Mercenaries. You remember that with Sound Blaster?
Yes.
It does look like Optimus finds somebody, maybe finds another Transformer, maybe on Earth, that says that factions don't exist here, and he has the mercenary insignia on him. So that looks pretty interesting. We do clearly see that we are going to get to see Disney, your favorite character, back again. Jet.
Which
Jet.
one?
Oh God. Why am I blanking? Jetfire, right?
Run. Yes, Jetfire.
Yeah, so we are going to get to see
Good.
Jetfire again. Again, don't know if it's going to be on Cybertron. I'm under the impression, the way the last one left off, that at least in the beginning, some of this will be set on Earth and some of it will be set on Cybertron.
Yeah, I'm still of the thought that I feel like most of this, at least, should deal with the Cybertron stuff. Just because, as most people who grew up with media like the Transformers, we kind of, overall, we all know what happens on it.
Well, I see, from the way this trailer looks and what we see of Optimus interacting with other Transformers, if it is on Earth, I think it's pre-human civilization.
Okay, so they're going to go right for Beast Wars.
Quite well. No, the next series is going to be Beast Wars, but this might be how we get there.
Gotcha. Yes. I'm going to have to take a nap for a long time, Autobots. Come, let's take naps for a long time.
Yeah. So.
Autobots, eyes shut.
So it seems like my interpretation is that since they're going to be doing something that includes both Beast Wars and the classic Gen 1 Transformers, the Autobots, that leads me to believe that they're going to be, you know how this series just felt like a prequel to Gen 1, but it seems like they're going to rewrite a lot of the history of Gen 1.
All right. Hey, I'm down. I like shows doing different things, even like just to justify them being made, especially for such a kind of old story that we've gotten how many interpretations of, that all kind of still cover the same thing at varying levels of maturity. If they're going to turn it on its head now, fine. I'm down for that. Give us a reboot. Not a retelling, a reboot. That's what this sounds like to me, damn it.
So speaking of Hasbro properties, Did you see we're getting some retro Power Ranger figures from Hasbro?
I did, and I was pleasantly surprised at the price tag. Because when I saw the headline, like, oh, we're getting retro Power Rangers back, and I'm sitting there like, oh, they're gonna try to charge like $100 per Ranger because it's classic Gen One Power Rangers.
Well, but here's the thing: it's not a limited release. It's
God,
they're bringing them back for the foreseeable future.
hey, good for them. There's only so much we can all do when we're isolated. Guess we're going back to Power Rangers. God, I love the '90s.
Well, and it looks like, at least from the picture they presented on, our source of the from for this news, Nerdist, it looks like it's going to be the Fliphead Rangers,
The what?
the
I'm sorry.
Fliphead action figures, the one that
Oh
you squeeze
yeah,
them and the head,
yeah.
it goes from the human head
Uh,
to the Power Ranger head.
let's try that again. You say you got the flip, and they do the flippy flip, and it's the masked and unmasked heads,
Yes.
right? All right, with the flippy flip.
Yep. The picture they show
Cool.
only shows the blue, red, black, and pink, but as they say in the article, it'd be stupid to assume that we're not also going to see the green and the yellow.
Oh, Green Ranger might not be around yet, Gen 1 and all. And the Yellow Ranger, she'll be there.
Yep. Yes, she will. So there's a lot of assholes in the world.
Yes, I would know.
And one of these assholes decided to take a swing at Rick Moranis.
Yes. Our, our collective dad, Rick Moranis. Our goofy, lovable Rick Moranis. And it looks like it was just not premeditated, just unprovoked. Dude was walking down the sidewalk, saw an old white guy, and just clocked him. And
Yeah,
kept
it wasn't
walking.
even like an attempt at robbery. Like, he literally just punched him and just kept going.
Just an agent of chaos. But what if the there's just we don't know what was said. What if it just turns out Rick Moranis is a huge racist? And he just dropped some harsh browns on that
I
guy.
can immediately disprove any negative connotations about Rick Moranis by simply saying he's Canadian.
Well, right now, I know Rick Moranis is a sweet dude. Rick Moranis is a historically sweet man.
Yes, even if you
Um,
go, I won't get into it here, but if you go research the reason that he's been out of movies for 20 years,
oh yeah, no, he did it for his family. He did it to take care of his kids.
yeah. So, a lot of love for the guy,
He's a
and
very
we here hope
story.
he recovers well.
Yes, hopefully, and I think he will.
Um, got some Black Adam news.
Yes, we have Hawkman confirmed, and it's Aldous. What's
Aldous
his name?
Hodge. He was the friend
Aldous.
that took in what's her name, the main actress in Invisible Man.
Yes, that's who it was. I was sitting there the first time I was looking at it. I'm like, I know that name, I know that face. What's he from?
But what's really cool here, um, for what we saw on Screen Rant, Dwayne Johnson talked a little bit about. He actually personally called Aldous to tell him the news that he was casted, and Aldous
Right.
isn't a particularly big actor, you know.
No, he's
He's
not.
very
He's
early in his
been in.
career. He's still doing very small
Yeah, he's
films,
only been
and it
in
was
a
really
handful of
cool of
things.
Dwayne Johnson to call him personally. And Aldous actually initially thought it was a prank. Apparently, didn't think it was really him, and talked to him for a bit and told him he's their Hawkman. Not just that, but also in telling him that he's Hawkman, told him he was going to be the leader of the Justice Society in the movie.
Nice. Aldous, man, Dwayne, hi. How are you? I can just imagine it's a very animated conversation.
Yeah, I have the whole. Well, I don't want to say script, but the transcript here. But I'm not going to not going to read it.
Well, are you saying this has been planned? You saying that this is a hoax?
Not at all.
Yo,
Don't you ever
not nerd,
don't
not nerd impact conspiracy alert.
do,
Get your tinfoil hats, folks. There's a conspiracy. Aldous Hodge was confirmed years ago. We're just being told now to drum up something because Black Adams can't melt Hawkman.
listen. I don't care if you like me do conspiracy theory, but don't you dare ever insinuate that the great Dwayne Johnson would be involved in such a thing.
Yeah, well, those pythons can melt steel beams.
Yeah, but what I found interesting when I was reading this though is he's casting. Dwayne Johnson's very heavily involved in every aspect of this movie, and it's almost like he's the heel in his own wrestling federation. You know what I mean? Like he's casting all the heroes and he's playing the villain in the movie.
Hey, you know what? He's got enough star power to have that kind of pull in a film, and he probably is sitting there like, hey, if I'm gonna be the villain, I want to get my ass kicked by the best.
Well, I do believe that his production company is the production company for the film.
Very interesting.
I think, of course, they're the Warner Brothers is the distributor, but checking here real quick, I do believe $7 production.
That would be Dwayne Johnson, I can tell you right now. Because his priceless story is when he started off in the late 80s, early 90s, he had $7 to his name.
Yep. $7
Yep.
production looks like is in fact the production company for Black Adam.
Yes. Awesome. Well, I believe in Dwayne Johnson's star power. I've never seen a $7 production before. So I'd like to, I'm curious to see how they would handle such a kind of A-list kind of production.
I think again, I'm going to check this real quick. Destin, you keep talking for a little bit, fill in the dead air.
I had soup today.
Not exactly what I meant. I meant about Black Adam.
Well, we used black pepper in the soup. Just a little bit though. It didn't really need it because my girlfriend is a really good cook, and I never need to season when she's around because she is my sugar and spice.
So if it gives you, did you enjoy Shazam?
Shazam was one that I actually kind of liked. I had issues with it, but I think it's the best DCE film.
Well, $7 production.
Very interesting.
So you have
So
seen
cool.
a $7 production film.
Cool. I was going to say the only thing I'm not crazy about with Shazam is just kind of the third act. The end of the ending bit, a little too corny for me, but I can accept it. It was a good character study up until then.
Nice. So going along. So do you remember this film? This is perfect for Halloween. Do you remember The Witches?
Barely.
It was an older. It was a '90s. I believe it was a '90s film that featured some kids being turned into mice by witches that looked really hideous under their fake cosmetics, and they pull off their faces.
That vaguely sounds familiar.
Well, I loved it.
I remember Hocus Pocus a little better, but this sounds familiar.
I truly love this film as a kid. Brings back a lot of fond memories, and I'm really excited to see that later in October, I think just the week before Halloween, they're releasing it on HBO Max with Anne Hathaway as the Coven leader, the main witch.
You had me at Anne
Yep,
Hathaway.
playing the villain for once.
Yeah, so you had me at bad Anne
And
Hathaway.
guess who I guess quote unquote, other than the mice, the hero, the mother of like the leader of the kids that turn into mice is going to be portrayed
I,
by
this better be a good reveal.
Octavia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer, Octavia Spencer, Octavia Spencer. I know who this is, but I can't.
The Help, Ma, The Shape of Water,
Oh, yeah.
Hidden Figures,
I know.
Hidden
Was that?
Figures.
You're naming a bunch of things I've never seen, but I know who you're talking about.
Yes, she's
Yeah, no,
brilliant.
she's awesome. She's great. I thought it was going to have like that Anne Hathaway sex appeal, but I mean, she's just not my type.
No, but she's got the strong
She's got
mother
star
appeal.
power.
She's perfect for that role.
Yes, yes, she is very very good at that. So all right, Ma versus Catwoman. I got nothing. I can't remember Anne Hathaway
So,
roles.
as I mentioned earlier, we did have some breaking news right before we started recording here. Disson, you want to break the news?
Depends on what news are we breaking. Oh yeah, duh. We were just talking about this. So apparently, everyone's favorite blue guy whose teeth get fixed by electricity is coming back to the Spider-Man universe, but not the Amazing Spider-Man universe. In fact, this might not be amazing at all. It could be spectacular.
Nice.
It could be superior. And it could be year 2099. Um, Jamie Foxx has been confirmed to be reprising his role as Electro, but a different continuity Electro.
Right. He's not going to be a blue Electro, which
Yeah, he's gonna be real Electro.
yes, I trust in Feige and enough to say that I'm 99% sure he's going to be in a closer to classic costume.
Wait, pause a second. You said Feige. Feige's not with Sony.
No, he's not with Sony, but I believe he's usually a producer on the Spider-Man movies.
Is he?
It's remember it always has an association with Marvel Studios on the Spider-Man movies.
I'm gonna have to look into that. I would be very curious to see if that's true and to what extent his pull is. Judging by the past few Sony Spider-Man movies that weren't attached to the MCU or Spider-Verse, his pull is not that strong. But I want to see Spider-Man succeed. Spider-Man's like our darling. We don't want anything bad to happen to our son Pete. But no, I'm happy to see Jamie Foxx come back for that role because I think Sony and whoever the director was for Amazing Spider-Man 2, they did him dirty.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Uh,
confirm here on the fly whether or not Feige's involved, but I will check that out. But the implications of this though are pretty cool because Electro, I do believe, at least at some point, was considered part of the Sinister Six. So that kind of adds to the idea that they're slowly building up to the Sinister Six.
yeah, it makes sense. Now, do we know that Spider-Man 3 is going to be? I mean, obviously they're calling it Spider-Man 3, so this is going to be MCU
Yes.
Spider-Man. So are they connected again? Have Disney and Sony worked out their spat, or are they just continuing Spider-Man's story, yet just like silently separating
No,
the
until
universes?
further notice, they are connected. And what we can surmise from the Morbius trailer which does introduce us to. First of all, it shows a Spider-Man wanted sign, which tells us that it's canon that Spider-Man is wanted because it's known that he's Peter Parker and people believe he killed Mysterio. Um, the other thing is that Vulture appears in that trailer, which ties
Right.
it to a Marvel Studios associated movie in Spider-Man: Homecoming. And I did check, and the
Right.
last two movies were produced by Kevin Feige.
All right, cool. So yeah, what it probably means for now is some deal was struck that they can continue Tom Holland's story, and Tom Holland's Peter Parker's story. We probably just won't see him show up in MCU movies for a
Well, no,
while.
they already. I think he has either one or two more MCU films they can use him in with the latest deal.
Are you sure? I thought he was done after Far From Home. I thought that was the last one.
No,
Then the deal fell
no.
out.
Far From Home was before the deal, before the new deal was struck.
There was a new deal. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I don't know. For those of you out there who might not know, this year has been a doozy. It's hard to keep on top of everything.
Yes. So yeah, it'd be cool to see a Sinister Six, which I guess at this point, if they go that route, and they did also. This isn't this week's news or anything, but we do know that a Craven the Hunter movie is coming as well.
Yes.
So we could very well get a Vulture. I don't know if Venom would be a villain, but we could get a Vulture. I guess yeah, I guess Vulture, Venom, Morbius. Probably not Mysterio. Shocker. Could have Scorpion because we were introduced to Matt Gargan in the first movie.
Yes. Oh man, you know what they should do?
Could have Carnage.
They should. They could do PVE, Peter versus Eddie. And the thing is, the movie is going to be miserable for 80% of it. And the whole thing is supposed to be like, we're making this movie so that we can have like the Tom Hardy Venom versus the Tom Holland Spider-Man. And that's going to be like all the billing and all the marketing. Then the fight's going to take place like 2 hours into the movie, and it's only going to last 5 minutes. Then it turns out they both have aunts named May. Hey, why did you sing that name? I don't know what's up with that.
This plot sounds vaguely familiar.
I don't know. It's probably a movie by some hack.
And
I don't know.
And Venom tries to spear Spider-Man with the remains of the spider that bit him because it's the only radioactive substance that can hurt him.
Yes, exactly. There we go. You know what's up. You know how to make gold. God, you were just a little bit of shaky cam and a whole lot of slow motion away from being a grade A action director. Too bad, like, Spider-Man's outfit is going to look horrible because it's going to be all desaturated.
Why would his costume be desaturated?
It reminds me of something that like a director that would do like a movie that's I don't know, like I'll compare it to like two other superheroes that people have always wanted to see fight, like Batman versus Superman. It's like I feel like a director who would make a Batman v Superman movie would like suck all the colors out of the movie, except for like blues and browns. And you think like Superman's usually like this hopeful figure, and like the suit would just like look like just gray in this film.
Are you knocking on my boy Snyder?
Oh, what did Zack Snyder make a movie about that? Oh man, I don't know about if Zack Snyder would have done. Only a hack would make that movie.
That movie was amazing.
Batman
No,
versus
Man of
Superman.
Steel.
hey, you can enjoy that movie all you want. I got no major issues with it.
Anyway, that's all the news we got for you this week. Um, I am still working on getting together Disson's little comedy special, which will be coming out shortly, and we will get another one of those uh, going as well. So stay tuned for some funny antics from the murky waters of Disson's brain.
Oh, good lord. You're going to need some hand sanitizer if you're going into my murky waters.
But like, comment, and subscribe. Visit us on Facebook. And until next time.
And yeah, and until next time, look both ways before you cross the street. Uh, Always stop at red lights. Don't assume that other cars aren't coming. Um, Yield when you see the yield. Always give yourself a couple extra, seconds of stopping time when it's raining. And for the love of God, stay nerdy.